In Algebra 1, you learn the rules of exponents. Let's take a moment to review those rules.
You can see the rules up here. The first rule, product of powers. When you multiply like bases, you add the exponents. Then we have power of a product. So you're bringing that power to each of the bases. We could have power of a power. When you have a power raised to another power, you're going to be multiplying their exponents. Next, we have quotient of powers. So when you're dividing same bases, you're going to subtract their exponents. Power of a quotient. Again, you're going to bring that exponent to each of the bases. Negative exponent, we talked a little bit in the last section. If it's negative, bring it to the bottom and it becomes positive. And if it's already in the bottom, you could bring it to the top and make the exponent positive. And then the zero exponent, anything to the zero power is 1. So let's practice a few of the problems. Let's complete the circled problems together with this video. Number 1, anything to the zero power, it's a rule as written above, is 1. And that's it. Number 3, we have a negative exponent. So what we'll do is we'll bring it to the denominator, and then the exponent turns positive. And then you can figure out that 4 cubed will be 64. Number 5, we are multiplying like bases, so you're going to add their exponents. And 2 plus negative 6 will be 3, so 2 cubed is 8. Number 6, we have like bases, but we're dividing. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract their exponents. Do 8 minus 12. The numerator divided by the denominator, or minus the denominator. So we get negative 10 to the negative 4 power. So we are going to move that to the denominator so that the power becomes positive. And then we can figure out 10 to the 4th is a 1 with 4 zeros. Number 11, we have a power raised to a power. That's when you multiply. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then make sure we only write using positive exponents. So I'm going to move my w to the denominator to make it positive. And the last one, 13. Let's first worry about this portion of the problem. Let's bring that 4 into the negative 2 and the x. So we get negative 2 to the 4th and x to the 4th. Negative 2 to the 4th you can actually calculate. Negative 4 times will turn positive. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, 16x to the 4th. And now we're going to multiply these two together. 3 times 16 will be 48. And for the x's, we are multiplying, so we'll add the powers, 5 plus 4, and get 9. We'll try the other ones in class tomorrow. Now let's move to example 1 of 5-2. So we're going to use the same properties we just went over for example 1. So we have 2 the same bases, 7. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add their exponents when we multiply. So 1/4 plus 1/2. So we're adding fractions, so we actually have to make common denominators. The denominators will be 4s. So for me to change this 2 to a 4, I had to multiply the top and bottom by 2. So now I have 1/4 plus 2/4, which is 7 to the 3/4. Next, we have an exponent on the outside here. So when we multiply that exponent in, we do exactly that. Multiply 1/2 times 2. So 6, and it's 1/2 times 2, which is just 1. Now multiply the 2 times 1/3. So 1/3 times 2 is just 2/3. And we obviously don't have to write that 1 right there. And that's it. For C, same idea. Bring that negative 1/5 into each of the problems. So when you bring it in, you multiply. 5 times negative 1/5 is negative 1. And again, 5 times negative 1/5 is negative 1. And we have to write this in positive exponents, so bring the 4 to the denominator. You can also bring the 3 to the denominator. You actually can multiply them two together and get 1/12. For D, the numerator has an exponent of 1, we just don't write it. So we are dividing. When you divide, you subtract exponents. 1, take away 1/3, you'd be left with 2/3. 4e. Look for some simplifying. You could definitely bring the 2 into both first, or you can see that 42 is divisible by 6. Since they are the same exponents, we can do that. So we get 7 to the 1/3. And now raise it to the second power, and we'll get 7 to the 2/3. Now take a moment to try the monitoring progress numbers 1 and 2. And we'll save 3 and 4 for in class.